Welcome to Corvallis, Oregon, home of the Oregon State Beavers and a bunch of college kids playing the tailgating favorite, Cornhole. This is Amateur Hour Sports, KBVR TV's newest sports show in partnership with OSU Recreational Sports. We're coming to you live from Dixon Recreation Center, where 28 teams have gathered to compete for the prestigious title and bragging rights associated with Oregon State Cornhole champions. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Ben Paul, alongside Andres de los Santos. Well, Andres, I did my studying up on cornhole today. I haven't played a lot of it in my life, but now it's time to put our knowledge to the test.
No, I studied for it too. I mean, I played it at barbecues, I played it at the beach, but, to actually call a cornhole tournament, I've never done it before. But I'm glad to do it with you because I know we go hand in hand. We've done plenty of football games, a basketball game here and there, and now I think it's time that we put our cornhole trivia to the test.
Well, personally, I'm really excited to see what all's going to go down here. We got a lot of good players here today. We are going to cut. We'll be right back.
Here we go.
And we are about to get underway between the Beaver Bashers and the Corn Slack Slingers.
Right,
We are ready for the first pitch. We do not know which team is which, so we're going to be referring to them by their colors, which is black and orange. And the first one is down 3 points for the black team, and orange team lands one on the board right there. So a good start, another one on the board for the black team. That one just off of the board, and the score for this round so far favoring the black team.
Orange has not been able to get a beanbag on the board yet.
So they have gotten black team that round, and there's one that's going to fall for orange. So the score that round for black, it is going to be 7 points.
7 points for the orange team, correct?
No, and the orange, I believe. So we're a little mixed up as to what the score is from that round, but thankfully, Andres, they're keeping score for us. So we don't have to worry about it.
Nice. Okay, cool. Awesome. Nice little swivel.
Look at that is a 3. I like that technique right there.
That's a nice little
Andres.
helicopter swivel, It's pretty hard to master in the realm
He's
of
consistent every time, and he lands one on the board. So keep in mind, if you don't know the rules of cornhole, you get 3 points for every shot in the hole. If one lands on the board like that did right there, that is 1 point.
I will say, though, black's doing kind of a smart technique where it's spinning, and I guess that spin is helping it stand on the board, versus orange is just throwing it kind of like an underhand softball pitch, and it's not staying on the board at all. It kind of falls off.
And now back to the original starters. Here is the first pitch for black of this round. That's on the board for 1 point. First pitch for orange also lands on the board. It's a point for orange. Pitch on the board. The hole is being pretty covered up now, isn't it, Andres?
Oh, yes, it is. Oh.
2-2 so far this round.
Backside.
And there's one in, so it's 5-2. 5 all.
Orange has right back at you.
One left for each team, and that's on the board. 6-5, and that is on the board. We got a tie in that round.
That's as good as a round as you're gonna get. Just got all beanbags on the board, one in the hole each. That's as good as you're gonna get.
We got 2 good teams going on.
2 good teams going on right now.
And if you did not know, it is net score for each round, and since they both scored 6 that round, nobody scores a point that round. First to 21 wins. And with that helicopter technique, there's one on the board, and that one stays on the board, but it still could be knocked off though. As of right now, and that is 4-1 right now in favor of the black team. 4-2 as orange gets one on the board. Here's another one from black, and that's off, so it's still 4-2 black. Orange misses that one, 4-2 in this round. Helicopter stays on, 5-2 in this round, so he needs to make this in order to win the round. He gets on, and so the final score is 5-3. So in that round, the black takes it.
That was an interesting technique where the beanbag was kind of hanging off of the board, but still, it somehow stayed on.
So 2 points awarded to the black team in that round. There's one on the board. That's going to drop for the orange.
It appears that both teams have adopted
that
helicopter swivel.
Not going to quite go in. Right there. We got a lot going on the board. Not a whole lot of misses. And, of course, right as I say that, Andres, I've done the old announcer jinx.
It happens in the commentary world.
1 pitch left this round for either side, and that hole is covered out. I don't know if it's going to be physically possible to get this one in. He might just try to get it on the board, and he does get that on the board.
Honestly, smart technique. The hole's covered up pretty well. You can't really just move around that hole. Just get on the board, get your point.
Got 28 teams here competing. I know you can only see this one right now, but a ton of games going on at the same time. That pitch for orange down in the hole. That's 3 points.
That's for 3.
Helicopter just off the mark. So 3-0 orange in this round. Second throw from orange off the mark. Another throw from the black team is on. It's 3-1 orange in this round. Here's the next toss from orange.
In and out.
And that's in and out. It's going to be 1 point. So 4-1 orange so far this round. Now 4-2 as black scores 1 point on the board. That's going to be off the board. 5-3, last toss of the round. He needs to make a 3 to have a trust. And that is on the board but not in. So 5-4, the orange team wins that round.
Ben, have you noticed that both teams kind of adopted that helicopter swivel throwing style where it's like kind of just spinning in the air, hoping it lands on the board, and most of the time it does. That's exactly right there.
So Andres and I not great at keeping the score tallied. We know that it's close right now, and as that one gets down for Orange. Remember, first to 21 points, and it goes by net scoring each round. They're peppering around the hole right now.
Oh.
And that does get one in for the black team. Orange answers with
Orange
one
says right back at you.
Well, it's going to stay on the board, and that's going to be it for that round. Once again, I can't keep up with all these.
Oh, Cornhole is such an intense game, Ben, as you and I know it. All right, it appears that both teams are ready to continue the game.
That is on the board for Orange right there. Not in, but on the board. On the board for Black as well. That misses for Orange.
Smart technique to knock that.
And the helicopter throw is going to go off. 1-1 so far this round. That's going to be on the board for Orange. It's 2-1 in this round. High arching toss, and it's going to be on the board, 2-2. A knuckler from Orange does land on the board. Here's the final toss of the round. It's high, and it is on the mark, so it's 3-3 that round. It's a tie.
Interesting. It appears that both teams are just trying to get on the board versus trying to make it actually in the hole, which is a smart tactic because at the end of the day, points are the only thing that matters in this game.
Exactly, and that's going to go in right away for Orange. And Black team answers right back. And we got 3 straight going down here, Andres. And that one just misses, just stays out.
Black with the toss.
Black team trying to answer that, just stays out. Once again, he's gotten robbed twice.
Ben, have you noticed?
Spiraling throw, and that's on. So that round, let me tally them up. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Have you noticed, Ben, that one thing to notice is that
8.
I guess
Orange wins that round.
Both teams, they start kind of the overarching I guess toss, kind of like a Steph Curry shot, you would say. But then as the round gets like closer, it's more like a low-level softball pitch.
You know, I think they're gaining confidence as they're getting into this game. A lot of shots hitting the board or going down, and that was counterproductive. He accidentally hit the Black team.
Now the question is, what do you do about that?
There's nothing you can do. And now the question, and now it gives both them down. So 2 counterproductive throws in a row. This is an interesting game, to say the least. A lot of consistency here as that one hits the board, just trickles off.
A lot of confidence in Orange for sure, just like getting those 6 points.
And the helicopter throw down the hatch.
It's the helicopter silver that really does it.
And I got to tell you, I can tell this is not the first time he's played with that technique.
Now, Ben, let me ask you this. What would you do in a situation? You know, like both beanbags are in the hole. You know that it's going to be on the board. If you get on the board, game's over. What do you do in that situation?
If you know that if you get it on the board, the game's over?
Well, let's pretend like that situation where like both beanbags are in the actual hole, right? What do you do? Do you try to go aim off the board or try to get like in the bottom corner where you're hoping the beanbag doesn't fall in?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, there's nothing you can do there.
Nothing you can do there. You just.
And that hole is clogged up, but Orange does get one to drop. Wasn't keeping score that round, but I do believe that one went in favor of the Orange team.
I want to remind folks that if the other team does knock off one of their beanbags, the point is lost. It doesn't count. A little reminder for Cornhole.
So the only points for sure then are if you go get it in the hole.
Only points for sure if you got it in the hole or on the board. Yeah, you're right.
Because if it's on the board, then it can still be knocked off. Like those 2 points are not guaranteed right now. That was a swish. No rim at all on that one. And Black has 3 on the board this round, so good consistency. That's 2 in a row from the Orange squad.
Now, if you're in the Orange squad, the confidence has got to be booming, just making 2 back-to-back.
Despite making all 4 on the board that round is going to go to the Black team because they had 2 down the hole.
You mean Orange team? Orange team had 2 down the hole.
Was it my bad?
It was Orange.
Was it?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, you're right. The Orange team had 2 down the hole.
Oh.
Black had all 4 on the board, but Orange had the only ones in the hole.
Oh, almost.
And that kisses the rim. It might still go, and it does on the very next throw. Black team does throw one in. So 2 on the board and 1 down the hole so far for the Orange team. Here's the final toss for the Orange of the round, and it's on the board, almost in. Final toss to the Black team of the round is going to go in while preventing the Orange one from going in.
That's as close to danger as you're going to get, Ben.
And I got to say, sometimes you'll have a blowout. This is not one of these cases. This is a close
very,
game.
very close game for sure. Orange with the toss. Oh, almost in the hole.
Taking a look around at the atmosphere, we got volleyball going on. We got a ton of cornhole games going on. A lot going on here right now at Dixon Rec.
Dixon Rec here at Oregon State University.
So we got 3 on the board for the Orange team right now. There's the high helicopter throw is going to go off. Orange trying to land all their shots, and that one skims off. Final shot of the round for the black team. If he doesn't get it in, orange will take the round.
Actually,
and
no,
that does give him off.
Black has 4 because they made one earlier.
Did they make one earlier? Okay,
yeah.
so then they might have taken that round.
Might have taken that round
by 1
yeah,
point.
By 1 point.
In which case, the net score would favor them by 1 point.
Confidence booming for both these teams.
That's going to get on for black. Start the round. Here's the first toss from orange, and that's also on. It's 1-1 so far in this round. Here's another toss from the black squad. That goes down 4-1 black so far in this round. Orange team trying to respond. They do. It's 4-4 so
right
far
back
in this
at
round.
you, sir.
Here's the next pitch, third for the black team. That's going to trickle off. Third pitch from the orange squad, trying to take the lead, and they do. It's 5-4 in this round. Last toss round for black, and it's on the board. We're tied 5-5. Orange trying to do a walk-off for this round. They can win it right here, and they do. 6-5. So 6-5 orange with a net score of +1 that round. Taking it.
Very, very smart play from the orange team. They'd rather focus on just getting those rebounds on the board instead of just trying to make those threes. Threes are cool, obviously, but the chances of you getting on the board is much more higher than that.
So both teams on the board with their first tosses so far in this round, and that one is a swish going down. 4-1 orange in this round right now. Orange getting some momentum, trying to run away with this game a little bit.
Steph Curry would be proud of orange shooting right now.
Absolutely. And the black team, they are getting it on. But again, orange very consistent so far.
Very, very consistent down the drain.
And that is 2 going down for the black team on that one throw, and orange getting robbed there, and he's just going to waste that one. And smart, wisely,
very, very smart
because
play.
he does not want to take any points off, or he does not want to get oranges in. So a smart throw right there.
In football terms, compared to football terms, that's just like throwing the ball away.
Throwing it away.
Throwing it away, yeah. Don't try to risk it. And we're gonna go to break right now.
We're gonna go to break right now.
Can we read it?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I'll read it when we get on back to break.
So you're
and we are back on. I am Andres De Los Santos, joined by Ben Paul. I'd like to take this time to thank Oregon State Recreational Sports for being a sponsor for tonight's broadcast. You can sign up for the next Intramural sports event, 3v3 basketball, at beav.es/imleagues. The registration deadline is Friday, October 29th by 2 p.m., and it is free for OSU students. So grab some friends and go shoot some hoops. Amateur Hour's next broadcast will be that 3v3 tournament, so make sure you tune in on October 30th for that live broadcast.
So, Andres, we've just concluded the first game here, and it sounds like they might be trying to work out the score. We're in a brief pause right now between these two teams.
Yeah, like that's a brief pause about that. Trying to like get like some fuel back in the fire for these two young teams.
And now we're right back to it. There's one down the hatch for black, 3-0 so far in this round. Orange responds by getting one on the board. Here's the second toss for the black team in this round. That's also on the board, 4-1. Orange trying to tie it up, and they missed that one entirely. 4-1 right now. Here's the next spiraling toss. It's on the board, 5-1. Orange needs an answer, and that's off the board. So black has guaranteed, well, not guaranteed because points can be taken off, but they have put another one on the board, 6-1 in that round, 6-1. So a net of 5, and I think that is the ball game.
That might be the game.
Black team is moving on.
Black team with a dominant win. As mentioned earlier, Ben, no lead is safe in the realm of cornhole.
True indeed, Andres. You could be up 15-zip after some rounds, but if you don't win another round, the other team's coming back.
Exactly, yeah. It all comes down to just getting those beanbags on the board, getting your points, staying consistent, and obviously place them in spots where they can't get knocked off. So if you put them on the top right corners, top bottom corners, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you play them back in the middle, kind of near the hole, that's what you want to be.
So now challenging the winners of that game, we got over here some new competitors. The black team from last time is going to move to orange this game, and actually this is the... Was this the winner's bracket, or is this
I believe this is the winner's bracket because this team won.
Oh, did they now? Okay.
Nice high-arcing shot. Oh, off the board.
That's unlucky. And then we got a wobbler right there. That's going to stay off the board just short. Haven't seen a lot of shots short, but that one...
I haven't seen too many shots short. It happens normally.
It does, absolutely.
I know my experience playing cornhole, I've had plenty of shots that either just go over the board or under the board.
When I'm playing cornhole, you got to cover your eyes, Andres. That's all I'm going to say. You know, I'll get lucky a couple times and get some really nice ones, but then that next shot will miss by 20 feet.
Well, Ben, it's a good thing that we're behind the broadcast booth.
And not out there right now.
Not out there playing cornhole.
Because no one want to watch.
Exactly.
It was us.
Plus, who would commentate?
Zach, born to do this, Andres.
Born to do this, baby.
And that throw is just going to be off the board, so that's a very close round. I don't know if any actually got in the hole, so
that's as close as you're going to get.
Up to tallying how many were on the board.
Now, I want to point out the technique. So we see black holding all his beanbags, versus orange kind of puts beanbags on the board. It kind of has this like preemptive rest.
And twice now, that player for orange has come up short. He's going to have to put a little more oomph to it. And right as I said, he does get a little more oomph, just a little bit off the board.
Both teams miss right now. There we go. Finally got a beanbag on the board.
That one right down the hatch.
dagger.
The black team looking quite dominant against all their opponents. Orange does get one on the board to narrow the deficit there.
That was a beautiful shot. Beautiful 3-point shot, you could say, from the black team. On the board for black. Orange try to do the same thing, and they do it.
Black team trying to answer right now, and they do. 2 identical shots, and that one's going to fall off of the board. In the hole. Black really trying to take it by the reins in this round. Final shot for black, and that goes down.
Oh!
So orange they do answer, but black still does take that net round by a net of about 4 or 5, I believe.
One of those right back at you, sir.
3 of his 4 were in for the black team that round. That one's just going to kiss the outside, not going in.
Ben, I just said that ping pong ball goes flying right by us. That's why we're quiet for a little bit.
Right behind us. There's a lot going on here, as we mentioned, at Dixon Rec.
Ping pong balls going flying. It's a chaotic environment here in Dixon Rec Center at Oregon State.
Wouldn't want it any other way.
Exactly. Welcome to Oregon State.
So we got a lot of bags on the board. Hey, Andres, do you know why this game is called Cornhole?
I'm assuming it's because they threw cornhole originally, right? Like they would throw just like hooks of corn.
Well, it's not a bad guess, but actually the bags were originally filled with corn. The bags weigh approximately 1 pound each, the bags that you throw.
Interesting.
And they used to be filled with corn. Nowadays they're filled with some type of rosin, so that most aren't traditionally with corn anymore. But that's why this game is called Cornhole. I was wondering it myself.
I had no idea about that. I always thought it was just cornhole because like you just throw hooks of corn into the hole. Like from afar, like literally just like hucks, like that would eat and just like.
I'm sure it's been done.
It's got to be done. There's like in some way. Maybe Oregon State Rec Sports can bring that along.
Can we bring a new sport?
Can we bring like cornhole like extreme or something?
Just you and I could be the founders of this, Andres.
There we go. Exactly. Found it on this broadcast.
That's an absolutely beautiful toss. Gonna stay on. I thought that was gonna go in. Orange team trying to answer, and they do get one on the board. These points could be knocked off.
Oh, that's
Drainer.
In.
3 points for the black team. That's going to trickle over another orange bag, and another high arcing shot is going to go off for the black team. Orange trying to respond, and that is too far off of the board.
Now, Ben, while they're getting ready for this, let me ask you this. If you were a cornhole champion and you had a walkout song, what would it be?
That is a great... If I was a cornhole champion, and I had a walkout song,
what would it be?
I think that I would have to choose... You heard the band, the Scorpions, Andres?
I have not heard the band.
Haven't heard Rock You Like a Hurricane?
I have not.
I think that's what I have to be. Old Guitar Hero classic.
Interesting. All right.
What about you, my friend? And a lot of shots on the board right now. Black team answers again with one on the board. Orange team throws, and they knock their own off the board. Woo! So some bad luck for the orange squad right there, as they not only did they not get a point on that one, they took another point off the board.
Also, sorry to leave you hanging, Ben. Ping pong balls go flying. Hit me in the headset. Had to take it off real quick.
Absolutely.
I guess for me, for my walkout song, it would be Industry Baby by Lil Nas X.
See you.
All right, and welcome back to Cornhole here inside Dixon Rec Center at Oregon State University. Before this starts, another event coming up on the recreational sports schedule is the Intramural Dodgeball Tournament. So if you can name the 5 Ds of dodgeball, and if you're more at home dodging balls and shooting them, you can sign up for the tournament here at beav.es/imleagues. The registration deadline is Friday, November 5th by 2 p.m., so get dodging.
I feel like dodgeball is a sport everyone enjoys.
Yeah, but did you also know that Amateur Hour will also be broadcasting the dodgeball tournament? So join us Saturday, November 6th on the KBVR TV YouTube channel for lots of action and a ridiculous amount of dodgeball references. Before we start, Ben, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but I want to break some news.
Breaking news, huh?
Breaking news. Did you know that just right now, the Oregon State men's soccer team defeated the #1 ranked Washington Huskies by a score of 3-2 with literally a penalty in the 88th
You're
minute.
just trying to get a reaction out of me right now.
I am. What do you think about that?
So that's true.
That's true.
The Beavers beat the #1 team in the country.
The Beavers have defeated the #1 team in the country in men's soccer.
In Seattle. That's incredible. This is what makes college sports so incredible. It was a penalty kick in the 86th minute.
88th minute.
88th minute, my bad.
Yeah.
Incredible. So the Beavers take down #1 Washington in men's soccer. As of right now, we're going to get back to some cornhole action. Sorry, still jittering with excitement from all that news. Orange team, once again, back on, and they got 2 on the board so far. Here's Black trying to respond, and that one's going to just miss after kissing the edge of the hole. The orange team got 3 on. Black answers back. Another on the board, so none go down the hole in that round. We do have a lot of shots on the board, and I'm going to try to start keeping score for everyone here. Here's a toss. It's one of the lower throws that we've seen. Second throw from Orange this round. It's on the board for Black. A low throw, topples, almost goes in the hole. That hole's pretty blocked off right now. Black lands one on the board. Black needs to answer right here, and they do. And so we got a tie in that round. Every throw went on the board in that round.
That's as close as you're going to get.
8 for 8, and so we have a net of score of 0 in that round between the orange and black teams.
That's as close as you're going to get.
Trying to answer, he does. That's going to stay on the board. That one's a misfire.
Overshot a little too far on that. Football reference.
And that's another score for Black. Orange gets one in. No, Orange was on the board, pardon me. That's going to be a misfire. That's on the board. So Black takes that round 4-2. Net score, Black wins that round by 2.
Now, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the sport of cornhole and the sport of football go hand in hand because when you think about it, tailgating, football, cornhole, hand in hand.
They're both American classics.
Both American classics.
Except you can have a burger, you can have a nice
burger
cold
one
drink.
hand, beanbag another hand.
Exactly.
Tossing back and forth.
Right before the game starts.
Exactly. Oh, in and out of the hole.
Might be not the best tailgating weather tomorrow in Corvallis.
Might not be for the Utah game, that's right, which we're calling tomorrow as well, which I'm really excited for.
Really excited, and that one's going to just kiss and stay out of the hole.
That's got to suck, imagine. You're like, oh, that's going in.
You know, that's just part of this game, you know. And they say close only counts in horseshoes. Actually, close counts in cornhole as well. You get 1.
Does it? Okay.
For being on the board. I like this toss over here, Andres. You'll see the little spin, and he flicks it sideways.
Interesting.
I like the rotation. That's too far.
That's interesting. Just the spin technique in cornhole is just, I think it's one of the
And he
best.
knocked in one for Black, and look at
go.
Despair from the player on orange as he was trying to get his own in and accidentally knocked another one in, and we've seen a reaction out of him.
He wants that beanbag back.
He wants it back. But what can you do?
What can you do? Just pick up, move on.
Cornhole might be one of the only sports where sometimes it can be better to miss horribly than to barely miss, because sometimes if you barely miss, you do something you end up not wanting to do.
That is very true when you think about it, yeah. I know from the times I played cornhole very, very horribly, I've always made sure, and that goes in for the orange team.
Great throw from the orange team right there. He's trying to make it 2 in a row, and that one is just going to stay out, but 4 points in the last 2 throws.
See,
Orange
the look of despair, like, what just happened? I will say, though, Ben, off topic, I do love these jerseys that this team is wearing. Number 21 for both teams. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because 21's a cool number. But I like the fact baseball jerseys.
Absolutely.
I
got to say, this is the coolest drip of all the teams. I mean, first of all, they're matching, which I think is part of any sport. Oh, and that's a great one from Orange. Dagger 3, and Black answers right back.
Right back at you, sir.
Let's see if Orange can answer again. That's going to be off the board. Black trying to make it 2 in a row. That one's going to stay on the board. Orange with the final toss of the round. That's going to be on the board. Black's final toss in the hole.
It's in.
You know, that one was just so beautiful.
As Mike Green would say, 4-3.
It was one of patented bang calls.
One of those patented bang.
Except we're switching sports here. Steph Curry would have been proud of that shot.
It's interesting. I will say it is interesting when you see the beanbag sort of kind of like dead weight in the air, kind of just like gravitate, versus when it spins. I feel like when it spins more, it's more like be on the board.
I think there's probably something to that. There's probably a correct way. That was a knuckler, probably not what you want to see in particular. See, mine are all knucklers. I don't know how to put the correct rotation on. As a dagger 3 right there from the orange squad, getting one to roll in once it hit the board.
Interesting, yeah. At least for me, when I play cornhole, my objective is to just get it on the board. I don't try to like go in the hole.
I don't aim for the hole.
If it gets in the hole, amazing. But if I get on the board, even better.
Exactly.
Sounds really, really good. There appears to be some confusion for keeping score here.
A little bit of confusion here. You know, there's a lot of good sportsmanship here. I've seen everyone talking.
Of course,
I've never seen any conflict. I've seen a lot of handshakes. A lot of good sportsmanship.
A lot of good sportsmanship.
Which is what you want to see.
Of course, yeah. Whoa! I almost got hit by a ping pong ball.
Ping pong balls flying all over the place. Andres, you okay after taking one to the head?
I'm good. Whew. Took one earlier to the head. Headset didn't break. My brain didn't break. Everything's good.
We're back underway. That's a short throw. It's going to miss the board. Most of the times we see it miss, it's either longer to the side. We don't see a lot of them just come up short. That one's going to trickle in for the orange team. Black trying to answer
celebratory. There we go. As
I like the emotion being shown by the orange team there. It's a close game.
Well, there's so much at stake when you think about it. You know, cornhole champion.
Cornhole champions of an entire university. And they could say that for the rest of their lives. It's a high throw going to go just off of the board. And that will conclude that frame.
Man, I got to say, I'm still in shock at the fact that the Beavers defeated #1 Washington. I'm still in shock about that.
I know we had a good team, Andres. I knew we had a good team.
Had a very good team.
But hearing us beating the #1 team, if it was in Corvallis, I wouldn't be surprised. But on the road, going into that type of environment and getting a win, it's what college sports is all about. You know, the reason it's such a big deal is because, Andres, beating the #1 team on the road, it just doesn't happen that often.
No, not at all. Not at all.
These whole types of dream stories, they are dream stories for a reason. They don't happen that often. And this is a moment, probably one of the better moments, I'm going to say, in the history of Beaver athletics.
Can we acknowledge that? Look at that face of despair.
Face of despair on orange as Black gets one down
not
into
one,
the hole.
but 2 beanbags down the hole.
Did they?
Did they? Yeah, it was one of those kind of like 2 sank down the middle and just went in easily.
So I don't know what our score is. I wish that we had a diligent scoreboard because right now we're just trying to guess as to how close the game is.
I imagine it's pretty quick on that, man.
We think it's pretty close.
Oh, off the board for orange.
You know, there were 3 bags clogging up the hole, and he was still able to get that
He's still able
in.
to just get it in.
I don't know if he was trying to do that or his luck, but we'll take it nonetheless.
I'm going to get some mixture of both.
A little bit of both
Little
sometimes.
bit of both.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
You know, Andres, one other thing I appreciate as we start this next inning is to be inside on this, this wet day in Corvallis.
Yes,
it's not horrible right now, but it's nice that we're in a cozy gym.
Yeah, think about it. You and I are in our nice polo button-up shirts and our jeans, dress shoes going. Think about it. We could be outside in the freezing rain.
We could be freezing our butts off right now.
And the broadcast would be something like
we could be chattering. It would be a miserable broadcast. But since we're in here, everyone's having a good time.
It is nice and toasty here in this warm environment.
And that one defies physics.
No idea how that happens.
Spins backwards in after going a little bit past the hole. So orange gets one to go in.
In reference, that's a Hail Mary throw right there.
Hail Mary.
On the board. That's a smart play from orange, trying to get it just on the board, but not enough to where it can be knocked down.
Orange as well, going to land one again. Black trying to answer. That's going to go just off the board after being hitting the board initially. So 2 robbed in a row. Black trying to answer. They get one on the board.
21 is with look of despair on his face.
Look of despair right there. But he doesn't know what he has to do at this point.
Too much power.
Oh, that one does go on. So Black takes that round 3-2 by a net score of 1. Few other games have just concluded. We see a scorer's table over here. A lot going on. We wish we could keep you more informed.
Speaking of a lot going on, ping pong table just came flying. Ping pong paddle just came flying in our direction.
Gotta be heads up out here, Andres. It's a battleground out here.
Even though we go to this university, Ben, we're in enemy territory right now. So much is going on.
Speaking of...
Yeah, they hit him with the Tiger Woods fist bump celebration.
Gotta get the Tiger Woods. I like that.
Tiger Woods fist bump celebration.
Beaver game tomorrow, 4:30. Don't miss it. Utah Utes come to town. Right now, I think, Andres, we're not going to talk about this too much because we got to focus on cornhole. I think Utah might be the best team in the conference, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow.
We'll talk about that tomorrow, live on the air.
Orange starting off this frame well, getting one on the board. Black answers right back, getting one on the board. And we're seeing most shots go on the board. Not a lot of misses. And if there are, they're close misses. And that one goes down through the hole for Black. Orange responds by getting one in the hole. And Black just misses that one a little too much mustard. Orange with a nice throw.
Oh.
It's going to get on the board. Black, final throw of the frame. And that is on the board as well. So Black team takes that round.
That's as good as a round you're going to get, Ben. You know, maybe no beanbags in the hole, but all 4 on the board. That's 4 points right there. It levels out the score evenly for you.
Well, Black actually did get one in there, Andres.
Oh, that's right.
So Black does take that round.
Interesting. I did forget to mention.
Orange had a couple of very close misses.
A lot of games starting right now in this cornhole tournament. You know, Ben, it's crazy. I got to point out. So we have cornhole in this direction. Next to us, we got volleyball going on. And behind us, we got ping pong going on.
We got ping pong. And then probably upstairs, we got basketball.
Upstairs, basketball's going on. You know, people working out, people getting a good sweat in here.
And we see some people, perhaps teams who have been eliminated, packing up. So we are starting to get down to the intense time, Andres.
Oh, yeah. Now it's, as in I guess, basketball terms, where it matters most.
Absolutely.
Ben, do you think for the cornhole championship it's a best of 7?
I'm going to take a guess and say no. And this game finally does
It does come to
up.
an end.
Not sure who won. I believe the Black team took this one.
I believe the black team might have won that one for sure.
It looks like
good
they
game
did have
nonetheless.
more, but
Really
it was a
good
great
nonetheless.
game to watch.
Good game nonetheless. I will say cornhole is a very underrated sport in my opinion. It's just
absolutely.
the amount of like determination. You gotta the velocity, the speed, the precision of the throw. You gotta check out on that.
If people can get into bowling, there's no reason they shouldn't get into cornhole as well.
So while we're waiting for some teams to come on, I do want to give another shout out to our sponsor. So Rec Sports also has tournament options for those that are less team oriented. The registration deadline for a single table tennis tournament is Thursday, November 4th at 2 p.m. You register online at beav.es/imleagues. Tournament is 6 p.m. on Friday, November 5th.
So we got multiple games going on right now, Andres. Again, this one just finished up, and we'll get another one over in this corner once this game close over has finished.
Now we gotta see where that goes out there.
We're gonna go to a break, but don't go anywhere. We got a lot of cornhole coming up.
No, and we're.
We are underway with another game here that just started. We got the same team, the winners from last time, remaining as the Black team, taking on some new competitors here.
New competitors, I guess some young blood in the realm of cornhole world.
You know, Andres, just talking about how cornhole needs more recognition. You know, one thing that is unfortunate, this isn't typical primetime cornhole, which is why we're inside. Over the spring and summer, though, you got to think you get a lot of tosses in.
Oh, yeah, hands down. Obviously, spring and summertime, it's outside. It's warm outside, nice, humid. You have plenty of time to just practice some cornhole. And no better time to show than here.
And I imagine if you're maybe a college kid in Arizona, Florida, SoCal, you're probably playing a lot more cornhole than we are up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, being from Southern California, I can attest to this. I actually have a cornhole set in my backyard.
Do you? Then how are you not better at it?
Well, then again, Ben, think about it. I'm here, and the cornhole set's at home.
That is a fair point, Andres. I do want to get some tosses, and after seeing all the action that we've seen today, out in the front lawn of where I live, we got a pretty good setup for cornhole. Got to challenge some people. Might be pouring down rain, but
we could be a good team, Ben.
I think
if we're a good broadcasting
I think
team,
that we're both. We're two
cornhole
athletic
team.
people, Andres. We just we get some practice in, and we'll be good in no time.
Exactly. You know, maybe next time we should take the winners on this team. Have someone else broadcast. We'll take the winners on this team.
Absolutely. They'll probably be smirking if they could hear us right now.
Yeah. Like,
considering
no way,
we probably wouldn't even hit the board.
I would hit the other board that's on the opposite side of the court. I would just like chuck it as far as I could.
So black team, I believe, trying to keep their record
that one goes
might be
in.
undefeated. I think this is a double elimination tournament.
This might be a double elimination tournament.
We see some teams starting to pack up and head for the exits earlier.
Oh, that one's in and out.
I look that throw. It's medium height, but it's spinning from side to side. It almost looks like it's got some movement to it, like a slider, and that one goes right down in the hole.
I would argue that those low arcing throws are much better than those like Steph Curry shot-esque throws right there.
When I try to play, I know my word doesn't mean much. I try to go with a mix. You know, you want it to be like a little bit of a mountain, not up, but then come back down. You don't want it to be too high.
Right. Well, in football terms, it's keep the defense on your toes.
Exactly.
There you go. In this case, the opposite team on your toes.
Oh, and that's just going to be raw. That's going to be a tough feeling. There's some frustration involved, but he gets lucky on the next one as the other team knocks it in.
Not so tough right there.
Something we've seen quite a few times today, and this isn't rare at all, is what do you do when the other team just barely misses? Because in that case, you're in a position where you want to get it in the hole, but you can't necessarily because it's more likely that you're just going to knock the opponent in.
More likely where it's just like, well, let's see what happens.
And so sometimes I think there's a strategy. We've seen someone throw it away earlier when they know that they had won the round significantly, and they didn't want to risk knocking the other ones in, and so he just spiked it like a quarterback.
Exactly, yeah. Smart move. Spike like a quarterback, not the time.
Seen some pretty good tosses this round.
Now, Ben, Paul, one thing I want to address is the amount of cornhole stands up in this room right now. Let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's about 18 cornhole stands.
So that's enough for 9 games at a time.
That's enough for 9 games at a time.
It really is. If you love cornhole, this is the place to be right now.
This is the place.
And I'm so sorry if you didn't know this was happening, and because not only can you play some cornhole, you can watch, and a lot of good competition here.
Black has to be careful. Oh, as I say that, orange gets one of in the hole.
So, Andres, do you know the dimensions of the board, or of how far away these are?
I'm gonna have to guess. I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna guess 4 by 7.5.
4 by 7.5.
That's my academic guess.
I know that it is only 2 feet across, and I think it is around 4 inches long.
Well, according to the sheet, it says the boards will be 24 by 48 with a 6-inch hole in the board, 9 inches from the top edge.
Really?
So you and I are way off.
Way off, aren't we? Okay. I do know one thing for a fact is that in regulation cornhole, which I assume this is, boards are 27 feet apart from each other from front end to front end.
Inches, 27 feet.
And, you know, a lot of times you're playing with someone who doesn't know a lot. Maybe you'll move it up to 23, 24 feet. Yeah. So just make more. But when you're playing with people who know what they're doing, you don't want to be that guy who's saying, oh, this seems far. That's regulation cornhole.
Exactly, yeah. Nice shot by the black.
And the orange team trying to answer. They do get one on the board. Not quite in the hole, but a lot of good shots in this round as we get set for the next frame.
Now, black team has to be careful because he's kind of on the edge of the board, so he can commit a foot foul, which for those that don't know, a foot foul is when a player must remain, so obviously a player must remain behind the front line of the board while throwing. So any bag thrown from a foot foul will not score, and opponents will be charged while calling foot fouls on their competitors. So you cannot call it, the opponent cannot call it, you have to call it yourself.
And what just happened is, wait, who has to call it?
So for the foot foul.
Who has to call it?
You have to call it yourself.
You have to call yourself?
Yeah.
So people are expected to call themselves out?
Essentially.
So honor code.
Honor code, yeah.
That seems a little bizarre, I have to say.
It's cornhole. Oh.
All right. How are they supposed to know, though, if they're not focusing on where their foot was? That just seems like a bit of a weird rule to me, Andres.
Well, I'm assuming, like, granted, there would be actually officials that check for that, but we're just 2 broadcasters, so we could call them out.
We haven't seen a whole lot. So, yeah, you cannot be past the front of the board when you're tossing. I don't think I've seen any so far.
Nothing yet, but can we talk about how black got all 4 beanbags on the board, but orange was able to sink one in?
And that's enough to get them the round. You know, obviously you get a lot more. It's like soccer. 3 for a win's a lot more better than 1 for a draw. And getting one on the board's a draw, but if you go on the hole, that's a win.
Oh, for sure.
Like that right
Just
there.
Like that.
Right on cue. And black answers back. We got 2 straight in the hole. Orange misfire there. Black trying to make it 2 in a row with a nice arcing throw, and it drops.
Ben, you remind me of Tony Romo. You're calling plays before it happens.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know that this one's going to be a little bit off, and it does fall off the board. We had a good run in that round, and I think that
this might be
the game with the black team, again, staying undefeated.
A lot of good sportsmanship, handshaking. It's like, yeah, okay, you got the best of me.
I like the sportsmanship here, and I got to say the black team is on fire.
Black team is on fire.
They'll be awaiting the winners of this next one.
All right, and reading our sponsors. So to conclude our broadcast, I'd like to say thank you to everyone at Oregon State Recreational Sports for helping make this show possible. Rec Sports has many different intramural tournaments to offer in the fall term. From basketball to bowling, there are so many options. Visit beav.es/imleagues to sign up, or just take a look at all the sports they have to offer. Amateur will be back next week on Saturday, October 30th, bright and early at 11 a.m. for 3v3 basketball. Tune in to KBVR TV channel to watch. Once again, I'm Andres de los Santos, alongside Ben Paul here. From all of us here at KBVR TV. Never mind, there's more. I lied. All right.
We'd like to thank Oregon State Recreational Sports for being a sponsor for tonight's broadcast. You can sign up for the next intramural sports event, 3v3 basketball, at beav.es/imleagues. The registration deadline is Friday, October 29th by 2 p.m., and it's free for Oregon State students, so grab some friends and go shoot some hoops. Amateur Hour's next broadcast will be that 3v3 tournament, so make sure you tune in on October 30th for the live broadcast. And Andres, we are back for some more cornhole action.
We are back for some more cornhole action, and I am excited for it.
So this same team, who now has transitioned to orange, they've previously been black, now they're going to go to the orange team. They're on fire.
They're on fire, yeah. They're just looking phenomenal. It's definitely that spinning technique we talked about, that kind of helicopter technique of just getting it on the board. Maybe not in the
Andres, I'm going to have to cut you off. I think we have some controversy right here as the team's trying to mix something up. Are we going to have a little bit of drama here?
Interesting. Another storyline to be added.
And look at this technique. That's one we haven't seen, but that's on the board. In orange, again, we know that they're going to hit most of their shots. So this is a low one. You look at the release points, much lower.
It is much lower. Kind of like he releases it near his knee.
He's made all three on the board right now, but if you're going to beat the orange team, you're going to need to do more than getting it on the board.
You got to get in the hole for 3.
You got to get him for 3, and as I said, and and that's exactly what I mean. Exactly. As Orange drains one to win the round, is that getting on the board is nice, but when you're playing these good teams like the Orange team in this round, in this game, you're gonna have to get them in the hole.
That's as good as a round as
it's like settling for field goals. You can't do that when you're playing a good team.
It's like when you're playing against Alabama.
When you're playing against Bama, you're not gonna win kicking field goals. And Black gets their first shot in. Now he gets it on the board. The Orange team trying to bounce back, throws it a little too far off. So Andre's teams start getting eliminated now as Orange gets one on the board. Do you think that this team we're seeing right now, Orange, could win the whole thing?
I think they could. They were looking pretty good, just keeping up with them, watching them play Cornhole. Their technique is very phenomenal in the sense where it's a high release point. It's either a high release point and it gets on the board, or a low release point and it gets in the hole. So it's either one or the other. They have barely missed, if I'm not mistaken.
They clearly do know what they're doing. And look at the arcer on that one. And then to follow it up, we got a line drive. Oh, unlucky, gonna bounce off, and this one's tumbling. That hole is really blocked up. I'd be surprised if anyone can get it in right now. Just try to get it on the board.
Take it on the board.
That's exactly what he does. And Orange's final throw of the round is high and off the board. It hit a bag and went off, and so I think Black been taking that round.
Black is taking that round, and that's one of the few bad rounds from Orange that we've seen lately.
Really, and part of it comes down to bad luck with so many being on the board, and they couldn't get it in that hole.
Oh, almost in. Black with the attempt.
Black with one right down the pipe. Orange going to try to respond. They do get it in. And looking like Orange almost knocked that one off for Black. Do you think that could be a strategy right here?
That could be a strategy, just kind of like trying to minimize as much points as possible.
Orange trying to respond, and that's going to land on the board. Black takes another round.
I will say, though, can we smell an upset in the water?
Repeat that, Andres?
Could we smell an upset in the water?
Can we smell it up? I think this Black team smells blood right now, knowing that they are getting in their heads, because this is the first time they've been challenged, really.
This is the first time that Orange has just been struggling as of late. Normally they make either 3 or a couple boards here and there.
As we say that, they drain one. So now they're trying to shut us up, Andres.
They're picking up where they left off. It's all good.
And that one just missed it. Hit off the back rim. That's the equivalent of in and out in basketball. Another beautiful toss. That one's going to stay on the board. So Black's getting all their shots on the board. Orange trying to finish this round off nice, and they get it on the board. Orange does take that round, Andres.
It's those high-arcing shots that are really doing it for the Orange team. It's either high-arcing right in the hole or high-arcing in the middle. They kind of get it right above the hole so where they can't really knock the beanbag off the board. So it's very strategic placement from the Orange team.
And Orange getting one in there to start off this frame. That one's going to be just short. Black with a. Do you see that technique? He gets one in the hole. He took some backspin on it with his wrist, and that one looked like. Does he change up his technique, Andres? Or
it's as if he's throwing a frisbee. I would compare it to throwing a frisbee. Look at that. That spin, the wrist.
It's placement. A good shot, and we got 2 good teams going at it here now. Orange has finally met their match.
This is a barn burner for sure, Ben. Trying to clarify the score real quick.
So, Andres, we've usually had a lot of games going on at once on this side, but you can tell teams are getting eliminated, and then we're getting deeper into this tournament from the fact this is the only game going on this side. Then we got just one more on the other side, and so I think we're getting pretty close to potentially seeing a championship here.
We are getting pretty close for sure. I will say though, it's interesting the concept where, as teams get eliminated, do you think there's some added pressure to just being one of the last few standing?
Oh, as a shot's drained by Orange staying hot. Absolutely, Andres. No matter what you're playing, nerves are always going to play a part of everything. It's just like if you're in practice, you could make 9 out of 10 free throws, but if you're in a game, usually your percentage goes down a little bit. The nerves are always going to play.
Nerves are always there.
Michael Jordan said that 26 times, I believe, his team trusted him with the ball in his hands the final shot, and he did not succeed. So that's just going to have – it just shows.
Like that basketball reference, man. Like that basketball reference.
That being said, we have to remember all the times Jordan did, in fact, come through in the clutch. And another shot hit by Orange. Black answers back with another one in the hole. Orange is going to get one on the board. Black's just trickles off the board. Orange trying to stay hot, and that one's just going to rim around the outside, going to stay on the board. And look at this one right here, Andres. How does that stay on?
How does
that stay on?
How does Black
for the Black team? And they get another one. And I don't know if that defies physics or not. I'm no scientist, but I don't know how that did not fall.
Now the question is, does that count?
Yes, it does. It counts, Andres.
So I just made it clear that this is the semifinals. So you now this is the added pressure is on for sure. This
game is the semifinals right here.
So I'm not sure if you can see the broadcast, but there are 2 gentlemen in the white I Am Champion shirts, and they are actually waiting to play the championship game.
And so, as Orange is looking good. They hit another one. It's going to be interesting to see the matchup between these last 2. It's Orange. He gets 2 in a row. He's on fire, Andres.
At this point, it could be anyone's game now.
It could be anyone's game. Orange has taken the upper hand in this semifinal. And, you know, sometimes fatigue might start to set in, but actually, in this case, I think Orange is just getting better as this time goes on. So, as we mentioned, champions just sitting here waiting patiently for the outcome of this semifinal match as Black has hit 2 in a row. Looking good so far in this round. He's going for his 3rd straight. It's going to not be in, but it's on the board. Orange needs to respond, and he gets his own in, but he also gets the Black's in. So Black has 9 points this round. They finish with 10 in the round.
Now they're trying to delegate the score, see what really happens. And you know, at this point in the
pile
semifinal,
up.
you want to make sure the score is right because every little single shot matters in this
And you know, I like how they're taking the extra time. Again, we have good sportsmanship here.
Taking their time.
We haven't seen anyone.
Here we see.
Now we just see, because since you're on the same side as your opponent, and so you get to talk a little bit.
Of course, yeah.
It's like if you're at first base in baseball talking with the first baseman.
Have a general conversation. You know,
Exactly.
like, how's your day been? How's class?
Cody
How's
Bellinger's
school?
been good with that. I appreciate that watching the NLCS. Big Game 6 coming up tomorrow night in that one, by the way.
No, different techniques, Ben, but both are looking pretty phenomenal right as Orange sinks it in.
This guy on orange in the green shirt and the hat, I love his technique. He's gotten better as the games have gone on.
Oh, for
and
sure.
you just know that he's in a rhythm right now.
I
And
think
even when he's missing, it's not by much.
He's finally found that form. It's like, you know what? This is my game now.
You know,
Found that form.
Definitely, as you know, you warm up a little bit in the first, or maybe even the second game. But once you get into it, you know, it just becomes muscle memory.
Exactly. Maybe the second inning of the second game.
Second inning, second game. I think that sounds about right.
Both of these players have adopted the helicopter spin technique.
That is going to go just off of the board. Now another toss from Orange is going to drop into the hole. Here's a toss from Black, goes down.
Right,
we've seen a lot going in right now. Andres,
back to back to back to back.
4 straight in the hole, and now they're going to have to tally up the points again.
Like I said before, you want to make sure the score is right in Cornhole just because.
Absolutely. And I think we got a real close one.
We have a real close one.
So, I'm going to preface by saying as Orange knocks one in for Black. That's just unfortunate because it went off the board for him as well. This is the semifinal matchup.
It all comes down to this, man. It all comes down to this. Who wants it more?
Who wants it more? It's the 4th quarter.
Notice how Orange is focusing on high arcing shots while Black is low arcing shots. And
he's consistent with that high arcer. He knows what he's doing. That one's on the board, even though it's not in. And I think that Orange took that round.
Orange did take that round, yeah, for sure.
So, gonna explain again, the scoring of Cornhole is only one team can score in a round. Like, let's say one team gets 6, the other gets 4. The net difference is 2, so the team that won 6-4 gets 2 points that round.
Yes, yes.
And the first team 21 wins.
That
someone's gonna knock that in, and yeah, as I said, that Black gets the orange in, but he also knocks his own in as well.
That's smart because it cancels it out. It never happened.
Exactly, it never even happened. And Black just gets 2 and 1.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And that
just might be the game.
Might be it, as Orange gonna try here, and
that'll
do it.
The game. Oh my goodness.
Black pulling the upset on Orange, Andres, and that will take us in to the championship game. Right now. Another event coming up. And another event coming up on the recreational sports schedule is the Intramural Dodgeball Tournament. If you can name the 5 Ds of dodgeball and feel more at home dodging balls than shooting them, you can sign up for the tournament at beav.es/imleagues. Registration deadline is Friday, November 5th by 2 p.m., so get dodging. Amateur Hour will also be broadcasting the dodgeball tournament, so join us Saturday, November 6th on the KBVR TV YouTube channel for lots of action and a ridiculous amount of dodgeball references. We are underway in the championship matchup. Andres, give us a rundown.
I'll give you a rundown. Sure. So we have Tito and Mitchell. Tito is in the maroon shirt. Mitchell is in the green jacket. They are Team Cornhole guys. Basic name.
Basic name.
Axel Clear and Carson Flagg. They are the Corn Dogs. They're in the white shirts respectively. Axel's in the Crocs. Carson's in the black shoes. Did you know, Ben? They are the returning IM Cornhole champions.
And now they're in the championship again, so they're trying for a two-peat. I don't know if that's a term.
Trying for a two-peat in Cornhole.
Trying for a Cornhole two-peat. So Axel with the shot right there, correct?
That was Tito. Yep, that's Tito. Axel with a shot right now.
Axel with the shot right now. Axel gets one in. Now
hole.
Tito's going to try to respond, and he does. So a good game so far. Axel gets another one in the hole, so we've got 3 straight. And we got a lot of guys coming to play here as Tito follows up by hitting in the hole. So we got a great game going.
Axel, Tito with the fist bump. They know this is a good for
I love the sportsmanship. I love the enthusiasm. It's great. So this is going to be Carson Flagg. Carson just missed, and he got robbed there. Mitchell gets one on the board. So both on the board to start. Carson gets one in, almost got his other one in. Mitchell gets one on the board. Carson gets another one on the board.
Very, very
Carson with his final shot of the round, and that board is all clustered up. Mitchell trying to at least get one on the board, and he does, but the Corn Dogs win that round. I love that name. The Corn Dogs.
Corn Dogs is a good one.
It's great.
Corn Dogs, you know. Makes sense. Cornhole, Corn Dogs.
Exactly. I'm going to be honest, Andres. It took me a minute to get it. It took me just a second, but I'm like, corn.
Well, better late than never.
Exactly. Thank you, Andres.
There you go. Axel with the beautiful dagger.
Axel and Carson are good. I'm just going to say that straight
Axel
up.
and Tito are neck and neck right now. You know, they kind of match each
Tito,
other.
absolutely good as well.
Oh.
Tito just robbed, and we know that's going to be in. He knows that he doesn't have any choice, but that's going to get knocked in. Tito trying to go for another one. He knocks. He does take a point off the board.
Take a point off the board.
And so I think that this round is going to go to the Cornhole guys.
You know, Ben, you and I, we shook hands with all 4 of these competitors. We said good luck. You can really tell that it means a lot to be in the finals for this team.
Absolutely. We got a lot of great Cornhole competition going on today, and it all comes down to this. Mitchell's going to start off this frame. He gets one on the board.
Carson with a shot on the board and off.
Do you think that Alex and Carson come into this knowing they're probably going to have an easy run to the championship, knowing how good they are?
Maybe not so easy, but it's definitely more confidence. Like, we've been here before. We've been in this environment
They've been here before. They look like they play a lot of Cornhole. And, none went in that round. That's something we're not going to see a lot of.
That is interesting, for sure. But, yeah, I will say it's not really, like, fear because they've been there before. They know what it takes.
Do you think there's a target on their back?
Oh, for sure. Target on the back, cleanse down, for sure.
And that's a target on the back that Tito and Mitchell are trying to hit.
Trying to get in, Tito.
Axel just misses. Tito gets it in the hole. Axel's next shot, and it twice in a row. Axel's just on the outside of that hole.
Now Tito's going to be very careful now.
Axel gets one in to drop in. That had some beautiful spin on it. Tito just over the hole, and Axel doesn't know what he's going to do here. And he does actually get a good shot because that's on the board, and he does not knock one in.
So no points were given that round because both teams made one, and then 3 bamboo dogs on the board.
So was it net of 0 that
offsets,
round?
Yeah,
Not of 0. Okay.
Net of 0.
First team to 21 points wins. Again, we apologize for not being able to keep. They need to have a scoreboard like a racer, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. Big old scoreboard. You know, we need the officials. We need a spotting chart.
Exactly. We need everything here.
Yeah, a spotting chart.
Except you never have to worry about the rain here at Dixon Rec Center.
Never again, or never ever.
Bit of some frustration being shown here by Carson.
Notice
Flagg.
how Carson has that kind of high arcing shot, kind of just like almost like a Steph Curry or the Damian Lillard type of shot. Do you think that's effective in terms of just Cornhole, like getting in the hole?
You know, I don't think I want to talk, Andres, but it seems like if you're in the championship, I'm not going to question what he's doing. And Axel robbed, and that's going to go down. Not quite yet, but Axel, I'm sure, is going to get in on this one. And he does, in fact. He gets both of them. So a very experienced Cornhole player, we can tell, is Tito answers.
Mr. Tony Romo calling the plays before it happens.
Axel just on the outside of that. Tito trying to answer, and he's going to get off the board. Axel makes a throw, and that's going to land on the board. So the Corn Dogs take that round.
Corn Dogs take that round.
We got the Cornhole guys versus the Corn Dogs. So it is a bit confusing. Corn Dogs, the reigning champs, going to start off that round. Carson gets one on the board. Mitchell gets one on the board. Now Carson's going to have another throw, and Carson's just off the board. Carson does get one to land on the board. You know, Carson hasn't been landing a lot. I think he's getting a little frustrated. He does get one to land on the board. And now Mitchell's going to try to respond, but he hits one off the bag and off the board. And so that will give the Corn Dogs a win for that round. So starting the next frame here in the championship matchup, Axel's going to throw, and that one's just off the outside.
Tito with another nice shot attempt. Axel matching it.
Tito is going to get a throw in, and that goes down. He does get one to go down. His throw is just on the outskirts. He did knock another bag in. Axel's going to try to answer, and that's going to be off the board. Axel frustrated with himself there. Tito just robbed, and he might want to throw this one away because he almost – oh, wait, no, never mind. Tito has one left, and somehow it doesn't get it in, so a little bit of growing frustration there.
Have you noticed that Tito's form has kind of like shifted? It's kind of more like a frisbee throw. Other times it's a softball pitch.
It shifts a little bit, you know? It shifts a little bit.
He's adapting to the play.
I was talking about muscle memory, but, you know, whatever's going to work at the time. As Mitchell starts off this round, Carson has been a little off the last few rounds, and he gets that one just off. He's getting robbed a few times, it seems. Mitchell is consistently getting them on the front of the board. Carson's throw just a little off the hole, and 3 straight put in the same spot by Mitchell. Carson keeps getting them rimming around the outside. Carson gets 2 to drop in that last one. So the Corn Dogs take that hole, or take that frame, I should say. In the championship game, we're going on to the next inning. Axel's going to start us off. Axel with the toss is going to slide off the board. Tito trying to get on the board. He does get it on the board. That's 1 point. Axel gets one that's going to just stay out. That one might be knocked in pretty soon. Tito gets one on the board. Axel trying to knock his in, and he gets his throw in, but doesn't knock the other bag in. I don't know how it's physically possible. Tito's going to try to knock this bag in, and he is not able to do it. Now, Tito's got to be careful here.
Tito's got to be careful for sure, just making sure you want to get it on the board, but at the same time it's not just off the board or in an area where it can easily get off the board.
So an absolutely really tight competition right now as Carson gets his first throw of the inning in. I don't know what the score is. Again, it's tight, and that one's just going to just be off. Carson, I'm sure, can knock this one, and his next throw does. Oh, my goodness. How did that not go in, Andres?
No idea.
And he can get 3 in right here. If he plays his cards right, he gets 2 in.
Axel
he
gets
2 in. Axel showing us some emotion. I love it. Carson with a little bit of a fist pump as he knows that was a great round.
Oh, that might be the game. So it appears to be, yep.
It seems like the Corn Dogs.
The Corn Dogs are back-to-back champs.
Are back-to-back Cornhole champions. Tito and Mitchell putting up a great effort, but it is the Corn Dogs.
It is the
Corn Dogs
with the
win.
With the victory. Very, very impressive run by the Corn Dogs to essentially just win the championship.
Back-to-back IM champions are the Corn Dogs.
So we'd like to thank Oregon State Recreational Sports for being a sponsor for tonight's broadcast. You can sign up for the next Intramural Sports event, 3-for-3 basketball, at beav.es/IMleagues. The registration deadline for that is Friday, October 29th by 2 p.m. It is free for OSU students, so grab some friends and go shoot some hoops. Actually, Amateur Hour's next broadcast will be that 3v3 tournament, so make sure you tune in on October 30th for that live broadcast. All right, I am joined by defending champions for Cornhole, Axel and Carson. First of all, gentlemen, congratulations once again winning it.
Thank you.
Now, I got to say, you guys wore your IM champion shirts originally in the tournament. Did you guys have a good feeling you were going to win the tournament once again?
Yeah, we were hoping so.
We came in
pretty confident. Yeah.
Pretty confident? Now, take me through just this whole journey of the Cornhole tournament. You know, you walk in, how was the first game, second game, third game? First of all, how many games did you guys have?
We had 5.
I think
played
5 games.
2 in the round robin and then didn't have plans. So yeah, we had 5.
So 5 games? And all in all, which game was the most impactful? Just like plays, you know, teamwork. which game was it that ultimately brought you to this championship?
First game we played, the guys brought their own bags and we beat them like 21-2.
Interesting.
So,
yeah, and then we played them again later. They did a lot better, and that was a pretty close game.
yeah.
And
This was definitely the closest, I'd say.
This is close to say?
Yeah.
Overall, I saw a lot of camaraderie, a lot of sportsmanship. Overall, just would you say cornhole is a sport that's built around sportsmanship?
I'd say so. Last year there were some teams that maybe not, but this
Maybe
year everyone was really nice, and yeah.
Not a lot of people care too much about cornhole, so it helps.
It's a very light kind of game, yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna let you go celebrate. But my last question is, gentlemen, repeating I am champs. How are you guys gonna celebrate this win?
I'm gonna go do statics homework.
And Carson, how are you gonna celebrate it?
Man, I might have to do homework too.
Homework? I know. I have an essay to write too, so it's all right. Yeah, that's all the questions I got. Once again, Axel, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Nice shirts, gentlemen. And yeah, this is Amateur Hour.